Okay, we're 10-8. The number is 180 and the letter is G. My name is Mig. I'm joined by my brother Robert. We're playing Factorio. We're a little bit further today. We've got our lovely stack of things to make all of the... Yes, all of the modules. All of the everything modules. Of course, it's making the useless, stinky modules that we hate. Why is it making useless, stinky modules that we hate? You, less than 5. How many are in the system? There are not 5 in the system. How many are in here? 2, huh? Okay, well, how many do I have? I need them to build... Oh, I've got enough. I've got more than enough. Where's my armor? Power Armor Mark II. I'll build me some Power Armor Mark II. I like that. Whatever. We can probably just, like, stop building efficiency modules for a while, but... It's all good for now. It's all good for now. Anyway, these guys are going to cook up like that. So what I want to do before we get any further along is talk a bit about trains. I'm going to start running trains through around over here. I'm going to have Robert bring the train stuff in from the left-hand side of the map. And then drop the stuff off on the right-hand side of the map where we've already got the drop-offs. So why don't you come meet me... Oh, and you're running off over there. I was about to say, why don't you come meet me over here by the train set that we already have, and we'll talk about train signals.
I was thinking maybe we should hook up the bus of... Got one thing on the bus building just straight rail, but we don't have anything on the bus building the accessory bits of signals and whatnot.
So I generally just pocket craft signals, and especially train stops. We're not going to have very many train stops, so it doesn't make any sense to do train stops. It kind of makes sense to do signals. You kind of want to do, like, for every big electric pole that you have going down your tracks, sometimes, you know, you can kind of put train signals in. But let's just talk about the concept first, and you can understand why and which and where. So, as you might guess, let's go up to the T-junction, because that's actually got the signals that we were talking about before. As you might guess, you have to have some sense of train signaling in order to properly make your stuff not crash into other stuff. Right? And it's very important for your stuff to not crash into other stuff. I'm going to use this little junction down here to talk about it. What the train signals do. There are 2 types of signals. There are train signals and chain signals, and it is awful that they rhyme like that. But it's fine. So when you have the train signals, you can just plop them down and they do things. What they do is they separate the track. They create different track joints. In fact, this is the wrong signal. I thought I'd done it all correctly, and I hadn't. So, they create different track joints, different track sections that essentially detect whether or not there's a train up in front of them. That's what the train signals do, right? So, one of the things that we can do on this section here is I can put a train signal, let's say, here, and I can put a train signal, let's say, there. I use the shift click, and then my bots can do the stuff, so that essentially extends my reach fairly significantly. Do I have a locomotive? Looks like I don't, so let's make one. That's fine. They get made pretty quickly if I have the stuff in my inventory. So if I drop a locomotive here, right, look what it does to the train signal on the left. Whoops. If I drop a train here, so the one, right, because that's going in that way. So excuse me, look at what it does to the train signal on the right. You see how the train signal on the right turned, red?
This one?
Yeah.
I was looking at the other one.
No, and that one's still green.
Zoom in a little bit more.
Right, and so when I pick it up, it turns green, right? Now, one of the things that you can do is you can hover over the train signals, and it'll show you the direction that track is supposed to be traveling. Do you see that too?
Mm-hmm.
Right, so if you hover over the left-hand train signal here, it's going to give you like 6 little directional arrows, but it'll also give you 3 car lengths. And that's important too. It basically is telling you that a 3-length train can fit between these 2 signals, and that's important too. But the basic idea... Oh, we're turning into nighttime. Whatever. Lights should come on just fine. But basically what it does is it detects whether or not a train... That train looks like it's totally backwards. Can I Oh, there we go. That's because it was totally backwards. Anyway, so that when the train goes in here, though, the signal is detecting that there's a train in front of it in the section defined from one signal to the next signal, right? So basically, this signal here is watching everything in front of it up until this signal here, right? And then if there's ever anything in here, right, and I drop that, it turns red. If another train is coming up along this way, right, this signal tells the other train to stop right here. If you hover over the train so you can actually see where that train would stop, right? There's one car segment here, so it can fit a one car, but that's just because there's not any track going off to the right, right? But it would stop. Because there's a train here, it would stop. Like, supposedly, if I picked this up, right, and I dropped it here, right? Let's do the same thing. Let's piss off the train that we already have. If I drop it here, look, this turns red. Right? So now we would expect that the train coming up did stop. Don't do anything with it, right? We would expect it to stop behind this light, but we wouldn't want it to stop behind this light, right? Because this light's part of this enormous, stupid, ugly intersection thing, right? So that's what the chain signals are for. The train signals detect a train in the track segment ahead of them on the track, right? And they'll turn red when it's time for them to turn red. The chain signals simply detect the state of the signal ahead of them in the system. So what happens is, because I have a train up here making this light turn red, then this light here becomes red because it goes forward into this light, right? And this light here becomes blue, which essentially means it could be red or it could be green, depending on which way you want to go. This train down here that stopped wants to go forward into the space where the train I dropped is sitting, right? It wants to go and pick up some more iron from the iron pickup up there. But it's stopped by this chain signal here, because the direction it wants to go, because the next signal up in the direction it wants to go is red all the way up there. So it stops here. It's good for us to use the chain signals because it essentially keeps the trains from stopping and getting stuck in these, what's the word I'm looking for?
In the middle of the intersection.
Right, in the middle of the intersection. So if you're thinking... Right, and you don't want the gridlock. Sometimes you wind up having to take trains off because of gridlock, right? And if the train is full of all that stuff, it will either dump that stuff into your inventory, or if your inventory is full, it will dump it all over the ground. Then you get to use a whole bunch of the F key to go pick all that nonsense up. It's never any fun when you have a chest explosion. We haven't had one yet. We've been fairly lucky. If you try to destroy or pick up a chest, it'll stop you until it won't stop you, and then when it won't stop you, it'll go all over the ground. In any event, if I go and I pick up this train, it would pretend as if it had gone up to the next section or something like that, right? Boop, and this light turns, and off he goes. And so that's the way the train signals and the chain signals work. The chain signals are only necessary when you have an intersection, or, you could have a cross intersection also, and you would want to do the same thing. Basically, the idea is on the exit from from whatever intersection you have, you want to put train signals, and on the inputs to all of your to all of the crossovers or all of the intersections, you want to put chain signals. Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the next thing is, you're going to go build a whole lot of train track. Ha. So probably the right way to do is we want to get the stuff from all the way over on the left over into this stuff over here. We get an iron train in. Watch out. It will kill you. You get an iron train in. We can get a copper train in. The copper train's ready to go. Did I call it copper drop? I did, so that's good. But we're going to have to get that set of train stuff in from somewhere somehow. Probably the easiest way to do it is over through here, across this lake, which means you're going to want to use landfill. We are creating landfill. You can probably request landfill. I'm not sure what will happen if you do request landfill. Oh, hey, look, I have new power armor.
Finally got your Type 2 armor?
Hey, look what I just did. Remember how I said we hadn't had a ground spill yet? Would you like some bullets?
And some grenades.
I'm not sure how I wound up having a ground spill of all of these bullets and grenades. That's confusing to me. I changed out my armor. Did I have bullets and grenades in my armor somehow? No, I think I forgot to take out the things from my other armor. Yeah, so let me go ahead and take those out. But, yeah. So now one of the things that you can do is you can use your deconstruction planner and you can deconstruct the things on the ground and you can make it the robot's problem, essentially. So that's fine. They'll pick up all the stuff that needs to get picked up and it'll get taken care of. And that's my own bad for being bad. And yay for having thousands of robots at our beck and call because here they come. But yeah, so sometimes you can accidentally have ground spills. Anyway, what you can do, I don't need this anymore. What you can do is request some landfill and just make some landfill so you come through here. But basically bring the trains around and kind of follow this iron path over here. Oh, look at all the poor little robots running out of juice. Right? And so you've already got this path over here. Where did you go? Okay, you're coming down. You've already got this path over here that this iron's going through that's nice and open. You know, you can probably just put the train tracks around the outside of these roboports, right? Don't worry necessarily about the stations yet. Just try to run the train tracks. It'll be fun. They won't do what you expect them to do. Do you understand how to place the train tracks with the shift placement?
Let me try.
So, you know, you can... Whoops, there we go. So you can just, like, drop some rail, right? So we'll drop some rail. Wee, 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 wee. That's the boring way of dropping rail, though. What you want to do is have the rail in your hand, right? And hover part of the train track. So come over here and put some rail in your hand, right? And when you hover over the train track, you'll see the arrows. The little green arrows that come up while you hover over the train track when you have track in your hand.
I actually have track. Let me request
Can I give you track? Can I just do this? Apparently not. Oh, there you go. Have some track. In any event, and now I apparently am getting all of my bullets back because I dumped them on the ground. Anyway, we don't have any lights over here either, so that's always fun. So anyway, put the track in your hand. No, go back over there to where the track is. Put the track in your hand. And then drop, and then just hover over the track that I've already placed down. Do you see how the little green arrows appear? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, like that. All right, so if you shift click while you have a green arrow appearing and the track in your hand, right? That'll start doing the shadow placement. So I'm going to shift click. Whoops. It doesn't like me shift clicking. I'm going to shift click off the end here, and I'm going to shift click off the end here. I'm going to hold down the shift key. Yeah, you have to hold down the shift key, right? And then I can make, for instance, a turnaround point or something like that, right? Or anything kind of curved or whatever. If I just, I mean, people can see this on my monitor. You need to do the same thing, right? Hold down the shift key, shift click on the track, and then while holding down the shift key, now move your mouse around. Well, no, so you should be able to, I'm not sure what that was. So you should be able to shift click and hold down the shift button and then just move your mouse around, and it shouldn't actually be placing anything. It should be giving you the shadow ability to place things. Right? So and then if you click again, it's going to place it as a shadow, and then your robots are going to place, right? So I'll click again, and boom, I placed all those pieces there, and now it just placed it for me, right? So go ahead and you try to do the same thing. So with the track in your hand, hover over the tracks that have been placed till you see a green arrow. Holding down the shift key the whole time, shift click the green arrow, and then still holding down the shift key, move your mouse around, and you can place phantom rail. And when you then shift click one more time, the phantom rail will come down as phantom, and then your construction bots will go and lay it down. There you go. right? But you can do, the nice thing about it is that it helps you to do curves and stuff like that, right? So you can just move your mouse straight up and down and keep going straight, which is great, and it's nothing wrong with that, certainly. But having the ability to have your bots do the curves for you can make your curves a lot easier to deal with, yeah.
It
Groovy.
only wants to curve to the left. I can't
No,
get it to the right.
it...
And that just fucked up everything.
Yeah, and the other thing you want to do is not do that. So hold on. One of the things that you can do is right-click on things to make them go away. So right-click all of the stuff that you just placed. That was really bad, Robert. So, you have to be really careful using the train track stuff because it will literally try to do... Wow, you placed an enormous train track. Actually, that might have been a good train track now that I'm looking at it. But do you see what it did? Is it tried to do a directional pathway all the way around that would fit, and it found something that would fit, right? Which is great, except for the part where we weren't ready for that yet. That might be what you want eventually. You may wind up having to take out like some of these turret bastions, which should be fine, and no one's going to notice them disappeared.
We still got a whole bunch of leftover internal random turrets here and there.
Yep. Okay, so all that is groovy. So anyway, what I want you to do is build something that brings, let's say that brings this copper. We don't really need this iron because this iron's already running, right? But we can really use this copper. We're starting to run out of copper, right? So bring this copper patch over by train, and then once you have the train infrastructure built over here, then we can also get the oil up onto it and the iron up onto it, okay?
I'll try.
It's fun. And by fun, I mean, finger quotes with a sarcastic look on my face. Don't forget your deconstruction planner. It can help significantly to take things down when you're just like, oh my god, I have to get rid of all of this. Because, whoop, bye-bye. Oh yeah, we can use each other's bots. Did you notice that? My deconstruction planner woke your bots up. And then they're actually, because they're your bots, right? They're going to bring them back into your storage. So you have to be a little bit aware of that. I've got a couple productivity modules. I'm going to go dump them into the oil production. And then I think I'm going to go try to figure out why our artillery is not being researched as quickly as I would like for it to be researched. Looks like we're good on iron ore. That makes me very happy to see. It looks like we're backing up solid. Where's the up? And that's the down and around. Oh my god, what was I thinking when I did that? It was late. I was hungry. That's generally my excuse for everything. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that there is actually over here on the right side enough room for another two-way track if we need to. But more likely what we'll want to do is just extend these sidings so we can have more than one train car. But single train cars are going to be fine for now. Alright, so oil refineries. Let us not get killed by the train. Hello, train. Please do not kill me. Thank you for not killing me, Mr. Train. Take a little of this. Take a little of that. Drop. Can we drop productivity modules? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. So that's pretty groovy. Might want to start thinking about, do I have speed modules in my oil? I do. That's good.
Looks like the lake next to Steamtown still has a little bit of coal left.
Yeah, what'll often happen is you'll miss things here and there. Not terribly surprising. Oh, one of the other things that I wanted to do is just put some train signals along. this guy. Hello? Hello? Do I not have robots? Oh, I don't have... Where'd all my robots go? I lost all my robots. That's not good. Don't I... Am I not requesting robots? I am requesting robots. Hey, robots! Why are you not coming to me? That is very unfortunate. Okay, well, whatever. We'll do it the hard way. Put one here. Put one here. Actually, that's not what I want to do. I want to put one here or here. So that's not what I want to do either. I want to put one here or here. Here. Then I want to put one of these here. There we go. That's what I want to see. Groovy. So I'll do the same thing over here. One signal here. One signal here. And then the chain signal, which is blue. There. Groovy, groovy. And then on the out, we can just do another train signal. Perfect. Let's get some more. So, sure, let's put one here. Let's put one here. Why do I not have robots? I don't have robots because I did not ever put them into my armor. I don't have anything right now. That's not good. That's very dangerous, as a matter of fact. That's a really good way to get yourself killed if you run around and start playing with the guys. Okay, much better. Hello, robots. That's where my robots went. Nice, happy robots. Alright, we can put one here. We can put one here. Put one here. Hopefully not get killed. Groovy. So, I think we figured out the train signals. Seems like one good episode. Next, we need to figure out what's wrong with the science so we can actually have artillery, because artillery looks neat. I went and looked at that stuff. That looked really awesome.
The real question is whether or not they'll have classic World War I technology of artillery on trains.
Oh yeah, absolutely you can have artillery on trains. I've seen it. It's stupid. Artillery looks super OP, but we haven't gotten there yet, and there's something wrong with the science. So I'm going to end the episode here. My name is Ming. I'm joined by my brother Robert. I would like to thank you very much for watching to the end of the episode because I can't speak. But for now, we are 10-7 over and out. Push the buttons, etc. Bye.